Hey, good afternoon for some. For me, good morning to others. I hope everybody's doing well. I wanted to come back on here today and continue with my efforts of raising awareness in the community, particularly back home in Alabama. And today, there's a few things I wanted to talk about. But today I wanted to talk about what really happened to the $200,000 for COVID-19 treatment unit in the Perry County Jail. What really happened? That's a conversation that I wanted to have and talk about because it's something I feel that is very necessary to have. Why? Because we have elected officials who have said a lot of different contradicting things, and I wanted to provide the community with some evidence, like real evidence, so you can see firsthand, see what it is, and you can make a determination for yourself. There's been a lot of rhetoric and a lot of things that's been said over the last few days. Albert Fitzgerald Turner, the chairman of the Perry County Commission, has made posts and recanted some statements that he said earlier, which I've shown that, it is suspect because there's no proof to show that. It's just his words. And I want to continue with the effort to raise awareness. Why? Because it is become very apparent that there's a lot of things that have been said, but they're lacking the evidence behind it to back it up as far as with what those actions are. And for me, especially as a public elected official, if you say you're going to do something, what I'm going to do is I want to know exactly what it is. And the power in the community is understanding where to go to get this information. But there are some things that I did wanted to discuss, but that discussion and conversation I wanted to have today is, asking the question, what really happened to the $200,000 for the COVID-19 treatment unit in the Perry County Jail? Now, just give a little background, little context. The Perry County Jail, they had an inmate to escape back in September. That led to Sheriff Roy Fikes, who's a Perry County sheriff, shutting the jail down and calling for repairs, necessary repairs. Now, give you a little background. In 2021, it was announced that Perry County received $200,000, and I'll go into a little bit more in detail. But in 2021, it was announced that Perry County received $200,000 to do retrofit the jail for COVID-related things. In 2022, there was a news article in the Black Belt News Network saying that Perry County received a $600,000 grant to upgrade the Perry County Jail. 2 days ago, Albert Turner said on his page, and I will go and show you guys again, but he said on his page that they had to send the $600,000 back because, hold on, let me, I don't want to misquote, but I will go to it. And he said that they had to send the $600,000 back. Here you go. He said that it was the 24th of February when he made this post. He said the $600,000 grant was returned due to Alabama's shortage of certified licensed contractors, resulting in Perry County missing out on a jail rehabilitation grant. Right? That's not what was put out, and I just wanted to show the people how these things are misleading. Now, the reason why, and I want to let people understand this, and before we get right into it, I want to set this up and give people a little, explain some things. The reason why you're now hearing explanations, the reason why you're going to hear, I posted it earlier, but you're going to hear a video that I shared earlier. The reason why you're hearing now about people recanting things that they said is because when you're dealing with federal grant money, you got to have those receipts. And I want y'all to understand this. None of these recantments didn't happen until I started talking about the community requesting records. And I want you to understand this. When I came to Perry County earlier this month around President's Day, and I went to the courthouse and I inquired in the office of the chairman, I inquired about what's the process to request official records, right? That's when you start to hear these recantments. That's when you start to hear people talking about, oh, you ain't got no proof, or what proof you have, or what evidence you have. That's when you start to hear these posts being made and things are being said. Now, I'm gonna go back further in January the 25th doing and I'm going to show you so y'all can hear it's not me, it's his words. But on January the 25th, during the State of the County address, Commissioner Albert Turner said that they gave back $50,000 of that $200,000 for the jail. But let's get right to it. But there's a question, man. What really happened? What really happened to the $200,000 for the COVID treatment unit? What really happened? That's the question. And here we go right here. As you see, I did it 3 hours ago. And I asked the question. Y'all can see, look, I did it 3 hours ago at 8:56 my time. It was 7:56 Central Standard Time when I posted it. And the question is, what really happened to the $200,000 for the COVID treatment unit in Perry County? Now, let's look at it. On May 21st, 2021, Perry County Commission Chairman Albert Fitzgerald Turner posted on his official Facebook page under the title, "And $200,000 more to the Perry County coffer." In this post, and I'm going to read it, this is exactly what he said. Alabama, matter of fact, let's go to it. So you see, the 21st of May, 2021. He said Alabama governors awarded a total of $1.2 million to 3 Alabama counties, Dallas, Elmore, and Perry County. Dallas County applied for and received $400,000, Elmore $600,000, and Perry County $200,000. Watch this. The grant funds, which require no match, should be expended on projects related to the recovery from or preventing the spread of COVID-19. Perry County submitted a plan of action to retrofit the James Hood Detention Center. The goal is to create a COVID unit inside the detention center. Governor Kay Ivey notified Chairman Albert Turner Jr. on Thursday about the award. Chairman Turner said the governor continues to show her support towards the Black Belt, especially Perry County. I can't thank her and the staff enough on how responsive they have been when I reached out. I also want to thank my friend, Senator Bobby Singleton, for his support whenever I call. The $200,000 in addition to the $1.73 million brings the total for the week in grants to a whopping $1,930,000. Turner expected another $100,000 to come in from USDA to purchase the Sheriff Department's 3 new cruisers. Chairman Turner acknowledged the teamwork of Vice Chairman Brent Harrison and Anthony Long gives him the flexibility to go out and make good things happen for Perry County. We all need to get on board and push together for even a greater Perry County, said Turner. As you see, that's a picture with him and Governor Kay Ivey cheesing, and him and Bobby Singleton, right? That's what he said, right? So let's keep going. In a document he shared, and this is go to what he said about the action plan. In a document he shared on his official Facebook page titled Perry County Commission CDGB COVID application, he provided an itemized list of how the Perry County Commission will spend the $200,000 grant for the COVID-19 treatment units at the jail. This included $30,000 for the architectural and engineer service. Now, this is this right here, and everybody can see. This is his action plan. This is what he submitted. He said $40,000 for a COVID positive, an intake area for COVID positive inmates. $80,000 for isolation cells, installation of a video system for court, upgrades to jail locking devices, architectural and engineer service, bidding and oversight, and grant administration. That's $20,000, right? So I just want you to understand, Grant Management LLC is the company that Albert uses for the grant writing for Perry County. They also donate to his campaign. They donate to his last campaign. They donated to his campaign. Now, I'm not saying nothing negative going on, but when you have entities that make donations to political figures, and then you go back and they are the sole receiver of grants, or they are the sole ones that get funding for certain things, it raises suspicion. And that's all I want to say. But let's get back to it. Now, on January the 25th, Chairman Albert Fitzgerald Turner gave a State of the County speech. He said Perry County got $200,000 grant to build the COVID-19 unit, but he also had to send back $50,000 because they couldn't find an engineer or architect in time before the deadline. Now, on January today, I posted a video showing Chairman Turner again saying that he sent back the $50,000 in grant funding. So let's go to that and watch that.
We sent back some money. I think it was about $50,000 that when we had $200,000 grant for jail, that we sent $50,000 of that money back because stipulations in the grant the contractor couldn't meet. We were pressed up on the deadline there because it took some time to design. The crazy thing in Alabama is that an engineering firm that's not an Alabama firm can come in and do work. So you have very limited engineering and architecture firms that you can go to. So they take on your project and it takes forever. Right now, the work that was done, the jail under the COVID money that we received, did create two isolated cells if need be. If someone comes into the jail now with COVID, you can be isolated from the rest of the jail population. We don't have to release you. You can be isolated from the jail population. That's because it don't have COVID cell over the door. Doesn't mean there's not a COVID cell. It means that if you devise a unit in your jail that could keep COVID inmates separated from your regular population. We have not had one case of COVID in the jail. Many counties can't say that.
These are the pictures of the intake cells in the Perry County Jail. As you see, these are the areas where he's claiming that they did retrogrades for COVID treatment. There's been no upgrades to these facilities. There's been nothing done besides a little painting. So it's very misleading by Chairman Turner. And as you see on this document, this is a document that he posted talking about the application and the allocation of the $200,000. What you will see is the entire amount of the $200,000 was allocated with funds allocated for engineering. So the claims from the chairman about sending back $50,000 because of that is not only misleading, it's disrespectful to the community. If you did send it back, show the receipts. We want to see. So y'all see that, right? He said he sent back the $50,000, and the excuse he gave is laughable, right? If you had all of that figured out when you submitted your plan of action, why didn't you coordinate with it? You always use Goodwin Mills. You use them from everything. They're listed on the expenditure list for COVID money for them to do architectural work. They did the design for the Barnett King Center, when it was Barack Obama Fitness and Wellness Center. They did it then, so why now? And the only thing I'm asking for is, if you say you sent it back, if you said you sent back $600,000, where is it? Where's the proof of it? Who did you send it back to? All of this stuff, Albert, you say, and you never show any proof of it. People aren't taking your words. People don't trust you. The community don't trust you. And it doesn't make sense. And I want people to think about it, right? I want to go ahead and just look at this sale. Look at the pictures. Look at the pictures. I want y'all to look at it because that was in the video. But look at it. There was no retrograde. There was nothing done for the ventilation. There was nothing done in the air. Nothing was done. This is just what it looked like when they built it. This is the area in the Perry County Jail where when you come in, that's where they intake you. That's where they put you when they're going through intake. These are not COVID areas. And yeah, you talking about, yeah, you can isolate them. But Albert, you said, so you spent $40,000 to just paint? What happened? Where's the ventilation system at? Like, that's not isolation. Nothing was done. Nothing. And the only reason why he said he sent back $50,000 is because people can see that nothing was done. And hey, my boy, I want to show you something, Albert. I'm coming for you, my boy. I'm coming for you. I'm asking for those receipts. And I know that sweat is dripping real bad. But I'm asking for those receipts. You know why? Because the community deserves to know. The community deserves to know. And here go a few questions, right? If it's true that Perry County Commission, Albert Fitzgerald Turner, sent back $50,000, why hasn't he shown any proof to the county commission or to the people of Perry County? Also, if $150,000 was still used, which company or contractors did the work at the Perry County Jail and how much did it cost? The other question is, if the jail work was supposed to fix problems, why was the jail recently shut down after the state fire marshal found more than 25 safety violations? Y'all see that? Albert, it is, you said, this is what you said now. The last 2 days, I just showed, you said you sent back $600,000 and $50,000. So you sent back $650,000. Potentially that could have did upgrades to the jail, but now the jail shut down because of safety reasons, because of design reasons, or more issues than that. Make it make sense, Albert. And now you want the county to borrow more money and get a $250,000 line of credit to fix the jail, when in 2021 and 2022 you admitted it to say that y'all had to send back $650,000. I mean, just make that make sense. I just make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. And that is all why I do what I do. That is the reason why I present the information, because it does not make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. If you put in for the application and you put in for a grant, you already had everything laid out. Why didn't you prior to that? Why didn't you coordinate with the engineer firm for that and say, hey, look, we submitted for this grant. This is what we want to do. All right, give you a heads up. So boom, when we come through, you can have the design. Now, the only thing they were allegedly doing to the jail was doing a COVID isolation area, a treatment area. And they said do isolation cells, including bunks, showers, toilet, and sinks. That shouldn't have been a hard design. That shouldn't have been a hard design. And I just want, for far too long, he's gotten away with being able to say anything and nobody questioned it. And if you sit down and you look at this does not make sense. It does not make sense. It just don't make sense. And the thing is, he is nervous. He's scared because he has to show receipts. And I want the people to understand this. That money was managed through ADECA. ADECA, you can request information through ADECA for that grant. I've already done it. ADECA sent me back an official request form. I have that official request form. What I will be doing is, after I submit mine, when I get back, I will gladly sit down and show the community how to submit that, right? Once I get that there is certain fees that appropriate, that apply to getting that equipment. I mean, getting that information, right? But you can also request them to send it to you digitally. I'm going to request them to send it to me digitally, right? And the reason why I'm requesting to send it to me digitally, so then I can share it with members in the community that would like to get that and file complaints and file those official complaints. And this is the thing I want y'all to understand with that complaint. Not only can we file a complaint to the Ethics Commission, but that's dealing with COVID money. That's federal money. You can file fraud, waste, and abuse for COVID to the federal level. We can do that. That is what needs to happen. That is the way you hold these politicians accountable, right? We got the Ethics Commission, we got all of these things, but once we start to find some misappropriations, that's when you file that. That is the way to hold them accountable. See, a lot of people have asked why the state ain't come in, why the feds ain't come in, because we have not filed complaints with factual information. And that has been the reason why I provide dates so we can I provide links, I provide all of that. Now, if they go back and start changing links, then it's okay, because then we can show that it was there. It's got proof that it was there. You know why? Because every time I go live, I save them and I post those lives on YouTube on Educate to Elevate. So if they go back and as y'all see what I did today, not only do I read, I click on the link to go to their page. And I read from their page, and we can use that as evidence if they go back and change it. See, this is the way that we hold these people accountable. This is why these politicians are scared. This is why they quiet. This is why they say all this stuff and do all of this stuff to try to discredit and try to make it something that it's not, because they don't want that heat on them. But that heat is there, and it's hot. What Nelly said, it's getting hot in here. It's already hot. And they know that is what's going to be presented in the court of law. They know hearsay it get thrown out. They know that. But it's hard when you said it and it's your words that you said it. Then we come back and you said that y'all gave back $50,000. But when I get that information to show that you didn't give back that $50,000, then that's a different conversation. The same way, Albert, you said you gave back about $285,000 of the $500,000 that the county received to retrograde, to redo the old Perry County jail, because it was part of the march from Montgomery to Selma. Where's the proof for that? Like, all of this stuff you say you did, you never provide proof. Everything I said you said, 100% of things I said you said, I provide proof that you can go see it. I provide proof. And that's what we're talking about. Like, just the history of not paying bills. Listen, Albert has a history. What he's doing to Hale County, with the Hale County jail, and playing that thing about, we ain't got no contract. They know they say they got $27,000 high, but we ain't got no written contract. And we need to negotiate to pay the private pay them. No, even with contracts, Albert, that you sign yourself, even with contracts, you know other contracts that you renege. Yep. Frank, you're right. He said, this the only way to get change. Listen, these elected officials know that rhetoric alone and people talking, that does nothing. They fear black and white. That's why I would tell people, I don't communicate with people on the phone, because people will tell you one thing on the phone. I talk to you on the phone, but then I will follow up with the email or a text message, say, hey, per our conversation, you said X, Y, and Z. So now that's black and white. But if you just talk to them on the phone, I ain't never said that, now it's your word against theirs. Do y'all know black and white is admittable in the court of law? Do y'all understand that text messages and all that stuff is admittable? Those are the things that they try to play around and don't want the community to understand. That's why when you have a right, according to Alabama Open Records Law, to request bills. Hey, you say this, you got a right to request, hey, I want to see the expenditures for all the travel for the Perry County commissioners over the last year or so. You have a right to request it. Like, I just want people to understand that, right? And when you sit down and look at it, this is the way forward. This is the way that accountability would come. This is the way that these people will be held accountable. Because when you start to look at it, I'm going to tell you, there's 100% signs that there's mismanagement and wrongdoing going on when you have city governments, county governments that can't pass a budget. that can't pass an audit, that refuse to do an audit, that limit the community abilities to talk and raise concerns. Do y'all know this? Do y'all know that I'm gonna explain some stuff to you guys. I'm gonna explain some stuff to you so you guys can understand it. Let me show you how manipulation look like and what scheming looks like. Hold on. Manipulation and scheming looks like this. When they got the new Perry County Commission, when Barbara Howes and Carlton Lewis was voted in November of 2024, Albert instituted some committees. One of the committees he did is a committee of Albert and Barbara Howes to determine, they are the two on the commission to determine what can get on the agenda at the county commission. Now, I hope that the commission vote to dissolve that, because why are the commission giving every commissioner in Perry County they represent 20%. Each of them have an equal vote. If a commissioner has an issue from one of his constituents, their constituents in their district, why is it that only Albert, District 1 and District 4 commissioners are the ones that determine what will be talked about on the agenda? Now, according to that rule and that committee that they have, when I come back home, I'm going to submit a request to get on the agenda. That means that if y'all don't see me on the agenda, that means that Albert and Barbara Howes decided that I can't get on the agenda, even though I'll be returned and be a resident in Perry County. I just want y'all to understand that's the type of manipulative things that Albert did. And he did that because he supported Barbara Howes and he supported Carlton Lewis. So he thought he had two people that were going to always vote with him and get his way. But he found out that Carlton Lewis is a man that stand on his own. Now, I can't say the same about Barbara Howes, and there's no disrespect, but looking at her record, she always vote with Albert. Always. Like her voting record with Albert is like 100%. And this is I have the utmost respect for Mrs. Howes, right? The utmost respect. But if she can't stand on her own and always vote with Albert, that raises concerns about, okay, what is it? Does he have something that control over you? Has he told you something? And I want people to understand this through and through. There's been a myth before in Perry County about how powerful Albert Turner is and how well connected Albert Turner is. No. I will tell you this, right? I will tell you this. I shared it, and matter of fact, let me go to it again, because this stuff is funny to me, right? There's some good stuff, some good juju. This is some good juju. I'm going to it because he said it. No, that's not it. I gotta find it. But he said it. He made a statement. I think I shared it yesterday. Yeah. He made a statement in January the 9th at the county commission meeting about the resolution. He made a statement about the resolution that the Perry County Commission voted. And yeah, I shared it yesterday. Here you go. I want y'all to watch it again.
Mr. Lewis, that's why I'm saying that this draft legislation, I'm not going to hold up 10, but I'm going to ask that we're going to pass this, and that even if you pass it today, it'll never it'll never see the day in Montgomery. And I'll assure you that.
Now, y'all heard that, right? Even if you pass it today, it will never see the light of day in Montgomery. I assure you of that. This is the resolution to change the voting location in Perry County. Now, I want to show you guys this because yesterday I showed on my live, I showed about Senate Bill 301, 2026, which is the Perry County resolution. But an hour ago, Senate Bill 301, 2026 just passed the Senate, and now the House, and it is over at Governor Kay Ivey's for signature. So, Albert, what was that assurance? What was that assurance to even say that as the chairman of the county commission, that you was going to block the will of the people to change a voting location from a building that you already know is substandard? How did that work? How much power did you have then? You calling Governor Ivey? You got Bobby on your friend, Bobby Singleton, on the phone and try to work that. Isn't passed the House and the Senate. Bobby wasn't there yesterday to vote on it. I just want the people, man, this man only got a few people and got a lot of people fooled. He had a lot of people fooled like he's so connected. No, he's just been a low down, dirty politician who uses his position for personal gain and then try to use his position to go after people. That's what he's done. And a lot of people are afraid because their family members work for the county or he got something that he try to hold over people's head. That's what he do. But Albert, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, right? Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. And the thing about it is, everything is unraveling right before your eyes. It's unraveling. The whole community see it and shoot. The whole world seeing it. You just thought you was going to stall it out. See what Albert, this is my hypothesis of what Albert thought process. Albert thought process was he was going to stall it out and not give it to Prince Chestnut to go through the House because it typically goes from the House to the Senate. But shout out to the other commissioners and a countywide elected official. And this is why I say a countywide elected official in Perry County, a countywide elected official. That's somebody who the entire county voted for, not just a district, right? Right? Not just a district. And what I mean by the countywide elected official, I'm talking about Probate Judge Ho. Probate Judge Ho, who is the chief election official for Perry County, was advocating on behalf of the people in Perry County, just as former probate judge Anderson did, so to move the voting location from the National Guard Army, the old National Guard Army. If y'all remember in 2024, they paid to have those temporary buildings there to not have people go in there. Shout out to former probate judge Anderson for doing that. And the new probate judge, he said, forget all of that. He did the action and contacted Senator Stewart. Shout out to Senator Stewart. Shout out to Senator Stewart, Robert Stewart, who actually represents District 23 and not Bobby Singleton. He put in action. He sponsored the bill. He walked it through. So it was at the House yesterday, and somebody in the House, I think if it's not Prince, it may be Clarence, no, Thomas Jackson. Thomas Jackson is out of Clark County, but he represents Uniontown. Prince Chestnut represent Marion. Now, Prince Chestnut didn't push it through, and it was Thomas Jackson. Then if I was Perry County Commission, I'd have a conversation that I'd get rid of him as my attorney. Because that shows that he's connected with Albert and not trying to support the will of the people. And why would Albert be so assured that he can block something that the commission voted on? I want the people to just sit down and think about it. The chairman of the Perry County Commission said his own words that it wasn't going to see the light of day. He can assure you of that. How? At what level could he have assured you of that? Just want people to open their eyes. That's all I ask. Because the more you open your eyes, the more you'll see. And the more you'll see that this level of corruption and audacity, it's not even that he said it, it's the audacity that he felt like he could say it at a Perry County Commission meeting. He said that. Right? And for the people, and that's what I'm not understanding is about the reasoning behind the opposition is I show video evidence. I show things in full context. Like I show it in full context. It's not like, oh, I'm clipping it to try to spin it. I provide proof of showing whether you can verify it and you can see it. But yet and still, people, they don't say I lied. They just say I'm tired of it. Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired? Like, why is Albert so hell-bent on the people voting in the Barnett King Center? Why is it? Why is it? And that's a question. Why? Is it because allegedly he wants to get his money on that grant money so that he can allegedly do what he always do and try to handpick contractors that will give him a little kickback on the top? Because they said that's how they do it in Perry County. That's the reputation that Perry County has. And that's why I said it's so imperative on the Perry County commissioners. Hey, no, y'all, some of the other ones, Albert ain't got to be the one running point. I know he's the only other one that really don't have a job, but he don't, no. Look at them invoices. Look at those bids. Hey, why is this bid this? No, we ain't going to prove it. You guys are the one to prove it. He been getting away with throwing things in there. Like, y'all need to look at all of those bills instead of him putting it in AP clearing, a clearing account to pay bills for expenditures. No, I want to see exactly what it is. And that's the level of accountability that we need to make changes in Perry County. And it's not just at the county level. I'm talking about at the city level as well, these city councilmen. The problem is with many of these cities is the city councilmen are in collusion with what's been going on. Especially in Uniontown. You mean to tell me that y'all can't pass, as a city council, can't vote to do an audit? Do you know that the city of Uniontown, with the audit, can be eligible to receive a grant to get a grocery store? Do y'all know how much stuff the city of Uniontown can get with doing an audit and make themselves eligible for other grants to bring stuff to the community? Do y'all understand? Like, people don't get that. That's why it pisses me off when I see that they're not even trying to do it. And people just sitting back like, well, it's just, no. Let me do something real quick. I'm gonna see if something can pop up. Let me see. Yep. I'm about to show you guys something once it pop up. But once that pop up, you can see, you will see, okay. Let me see. What I'm looking for right now is a DECA, their grants, right? A DECA is Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs, right? Let me see this. Let me see if I can see, can I get the award list so I can share it, and then once I share it, you'll see how many other places, how they leverage these grants to get a lot of funding to get a lot of funding to they get a lot of funding to get things done in their communities. Okay. Now I'm going to show you guys a list on the Decker of all of their programs that they have, right? And once you see this, you'll realize what grants our community can put in for, right? And once y'all see this list, there's 55 different programs that our community can get funding for through grant funding, right? But you got to have audits and stuff done. So here at ADECA, the Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs, you see all of these programs. Alabama Inland Port Infrastructure Program. They look, Alabama Water Resource Commission, Alabama Weatherization Assistance Program, Broadband Alabama. You know, that's what they got that $1.5 million e-footprint grant from, right? Child safety, click it or ticket. This is the one, big one, Community Development Block Grant. Let's go to it. The Community Development Block Grant, right? CDBG. The Community Development Block Grant is funded by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, right? This is where we can get different funds and different things, right? They got competitive categories, small cities, right? They got grant ceiling. Small city ceiling is $400,000. It's so many. Oh yeah. This is what I was looking for. 20 performance. Let me see what the caper. Let me see if that pop up. See what I can see on this. See if this is what I'm looking for. No, that's not. But I'm gonna find it. But they got an award list, and it tells you who got what award. And the reason why I tell y'all that's so important is this is resources that we can leverage that we ain't got to pay. Only thing we have to have as a community is we have to have an audit, have our finances in order, and we can submit and let them say no. And the more we write these grants, the better we get at it. Then you can go down to ADECA and have somebody there. Like, this is the stuff that frustrates me the most about Albert. Albert claimed to be over the whole rural. Albert claimed to be over the whole rural department in ADECA for rural areas. But how much is he helping the people in the community about getting these grants? Do y'all know that, like I said before, the city of Fonsdale with a population of 87 people, they get grants. They got 2 fire trucks worth about $800,000. They got a grant to redo downtown and do their walkways. They did that. Don't y'all think Uniontown can use some money to redo downtown? Like, those are grants. Uniontown got $250,000 in 2021. They got $250,000 to get to do demolitions of the old buildings. There's money out there. The problem is it's hard to qualify for it when we got corrupt leaders that don't want to do audit because they're afraid what the audits will show. And then you got city council members who sit back and go along with the go along, and they get their $400-500 every month, but they are not doing anything to bring real change to the community. They go along with these people that's in charge because maybe they may be getting a little something out of it, allegedly. And we sit around year after year after year and we see the same old thing. And you wonder why we see the same old thing. Because of incompetence. That's what incompetence look like. And I just want people to really think about it. I want people to really look at it. And to think about it, Uniontown hadn't done an audit since 2012. My daughter was born in 2012. She just turned 14 last week. My daughter's going to high school next year. She's going to be a freshman in high school. Uniontown hadn't done an audit her entire life. And instead of doing an audit to be qualified, you try to find funding sources of where you ain't got to do an audit. What you hide? You only got to go back 3 years. Like, I'm being honest with you. A forensic audit, I would tell you like this. This is how you know somebody's stealing or not. If these elected officials have not been stealing, then every city, every county should put up the funds and do a forensic audit, a forensic financial audit. A forensic financial audit would go way down in the weeds and find out where the money going. If they are unwilling to do a forensic audit, somebody been stealing. Somebody been stealing. Because if you ain't been stealing, what you got to hide? If you are, what you fighting for? What you fighting against it for? And for too long, we've had elected officials in the Black Belt area who use their elected positions to better financially benefit themselves. You know, I heard people in Hale County that folks was charging people, people had tickets and telling people to pay for tickets. But they ain't have nobody there, no judge there, no magistrate there to do it. And them people paid tickets in cash, allegedly. You know, another scheme people do is they charge you late fees on the water bill. And then when the payment come in, write that off and then keep the water bill, keep the late fees. It's been reported to me that in Marion, they wait to send out the water bill late to incur a late fee for those who pay their water bill. That's the type of stuff that goes on, man. And then when somebody talk about it, now people want to try to make things personal. No. Just telling y'all, man, like, it is a red flag, and I'm going to say it, I don't care who it is. It's a red flag for any mayor to be on the signature authority to sign for checks. That's a red flag. It's a red flag. So I heard, I know that Dexter Hinton in Marion is on it. I heard that Ralph Howard is a signature authority to sign checks in Greensboro. I also heard that those are the two that I know. But if you are a mayor and you're if you own it, like the city of Fonsdale, you got 87 people, right? But if you're in a town where you got 5 or more council members, why you on the signature authority on the check? Why? Because what the reason why is, am I saying that you did anything wrong? No. But what I am saying is this. I'm saying that you want to not put yourself in that position. That's just like me. My dad pastored the church, for 40 plus years. Him and my mama was never on anything dealing with the checks or finance coming from the church. Never. And it's funny this is what's funny. If these people was pastors, folks would be, they stealing. But now that because they're your family and your friend and they're elected officials, now we want to defend it. No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to put yourself in that position. Because when something go wrong, something go wrong and something look fishy, guess what? It's coming back to you. Because you put your signature on it. It's the whole thing about it, man. Like, you're managing other people. That's not your money. Just because you're in that position, it's the community's money. Since it's been the community's money, then, okay, this is the other thing. I want the people to think about this. Especially those towns that got the mayor and somebody else on the signature authority to pay all the bills, right? When the last time y'all seen a list of who got what paid? Huh? When the last time y'all seen that list? in the city council meetings or in the county commission meetings, where's the itemized list of things being paid? Not just, I just talk about this, but where's the itemized list? Hey, Alabama Power was $4,856. We needed to pay that. We paid for, we got a printer service. They did maintenance. That was $824. This other thing right here. Boom, we had to pay this. Boom, we paid this. Y'all see that itemized list? And think about it. If they already do the itemized list like that at the end of the year, and they do a reconciliation after every month, at the end of the year, you already got all of your financial documents in order. So when they want to do an audit, you got it. And we ain't giving all these excuses like they had in Marion that they didn't provide the information. Or they saying, oh, well, the city clerk is talking about, oh, well, we working hard to get. Why are you working hard if you ain't do it every month? What are you working hard for? Or in Perry County instance, at the last audit that they had, they just said that they didn't even provide the information. Make it make sense. They like seriously make it make sense. And when you sit down and you think about it, you start asking these questions. These are relevant questions, but people are going to take offense to it because they think that you're attacking them personally. No, you just don't put yourself in that situation. Wisdom. That the Bible said, don't let your good be even spoken of, right? And that means that you don't do certain things. Like, I would not meet late at night with women in a place where there's not other witnesses at. Not saying that there's anything happening. It's just the optics of it don't look good. It just don't look good. Right? So why are we so why do we act like why do we act like that? And the reason why many of us act like that, the reason why many of us act like that is because a lot of it, especially in Perry County, it's amazing how quickly we can see people switch up when there's alleged little money involved. Some people can be hating people guts and going at them, but then all of a sudden you don't hear them say nothing no more, and they become supportive of that person. What changed? Was it a promise? What is a favor? Right? The standard is the standard. Sadly, a lot of people are able to be bought. That's why everybody keep asking me, well, who paying him? Somebody got to be paying me. Ain't nobody paying me. But that's the mindset of the people because that's what they willing to do. And you're right, Hicks Johnson. If the money is missing, it should trigger an investigation. At the end of the day, if you were in public office and you've been stealing from the people, you need to go to jail. You need to go to jail. If somebody posts right now, former pastor stealing, right? There was a pastor up in Huntsville that stole like $400,000. That's in the news. Why we ain't talking about these elected officials or these people working with and dealing with and managing city and state government funds? It's just not your money. You know, so SB 301, 2026, the Perry County resolution to move, it's passed the House and the Senate, and it's pending Governor Kay Ivey's signature. Don't anticipate none of that. Shout out to all that involved to make that happen. And Albert, shame on you for talking about it wouldn't see the light of day. Shame on you. You gonna say it's not see the light of day when this evidence, when we get this evidence and people start filing these complaints? You gonna call Bobby Singleton in? You gonna call a favor in to Judge Wiggins then? Huh? You gonna try to use connections to go to the attorney general office to try to get somebody to help you? And it's gonna be hard, Albert, because the people know that it's coming and it's coming out. You know, there's a lot of three-letter word agencies that people can leverage. Albert, you're not the only person that know people. And that's what you fail to realize. And Albert, what you also don't realize is your reputation precedes itself. Your reputation precedes itself, not in the way that you think it does. And your small circle, your small circle, your small circle of what you think that you're protected can't protect you from justice. And the reason why you're scrambling, the reason why you're doing everything that you're doing now, coming back and trying to recant certain things and trying to, that why you haven't been posting and fabricating stories like you usually did, is because accountability is at your door. It's at your door, and you don't know what to do. You too prideful to say that I was wrong. You too prideful to say that I was wrong. You too prideful to step down. So you're going to let your pride ride it on out because you think that you can manipulate your way out of this again. Because your strategy of trying to say that, trying to make this personal and me against you, it's not going to work, Albert. It's not going to work. And the reason why it's not going to work is the people see. And your only thing is to leverage absentee ballots for all of those people in Perry County that you're going to try to find in District 1 that don't live here anymore. And you're going to reach out to them and try to leverage them to vote via absentee ballots. Because Perry County, which is a red flag, has more people registered to vote than they have actual residents in the county. And that population includes school-aged kids from 5 to 17, about 817 of them. And that's just in the public school. That's not even including the charter school or private school. So how, with roughly 1,000 kids that's between the age of 5 and 17, how is Perry County has 12 more people registered to vote than they have total people in the population? That at a minimum, it should be at least, instead of 7,700, it should be at least 6,700, 1,000. And then that is a statistical outlier because the state nation average about 73, 74% of the eligible population is registered to vote. So that means that Perry County will be 100%. So that means that Perry County will be one of the nation leaders in registered voters, but we still one of the poorest counties in the nation, the second poorest county in the state. We still lead the state of Alabama with the highest absentee ballot percentage every year since 2018, with the exception of one, and that was Wilcox, and we were second place then. Like, I just want people to understand, like, when I say lead, in 2024, during the primary election, according to the Alabama Secretary of State page, the state average was 1.9%. That included Perry County. The state average was 1.9% of the total votes were absentee ballot. Perry County was 21.22%. That means Perry County was 11 times higher for absentee ballots than the average in the state. Using that same logic, if I go to the city of Uniontown runoff election, they had a total of 1,037 votes. They had 369 of them were absentee ballots. The incumbent mayor, Ron Miller, had more votes via absentee ballots than he got at the poll. So that meant that 369 out of the 1,037 is roughly 35% of the votes were absentee ballots. That is 17 and a half times higher than the state average the year prior. And people don't see no issues with that. And look at the difference of how it's impacting the community, of the people that we still got in charge. These same people have been in charge for years, decades. They've been in charge for years and decades. But what results do we see of it? Ron Miller been the mayor since 2023. Hadn't done the audit yet. It's going on 2026. And Marion, Dexter just did the audits from 2018 to 2023 because it was required to do the ADEM grant. And ADEM gave them the money to do it. And they was late turning that in. These people aren't willing to do it. Perry County just did their audit they published last year, but it was from 2021 to 22. There hadn't been an audit done from 22 to 23 or 23 to 24. And I know that they do. Listen, I know that it is a requirement, state requirement, that counties do a audit every 2 years. Albert got on here and said that the state won't allow them to hire and do an audit on their own. That's a lie. I did a post about it and proved that the state law said that they can hire a CPA, certified public accountant firm, to do an audit. It just has to. They just have to get approval from the Alabama Department of Examiners of Public Accounts prior to them doing the audit, and they have to submit the findings from the audits to them. That's all they got to do. So why lie? You know, since Perry County is getting 1.5 and up to $1.8 million a year from the landfill, why not set aside $30,000, $40,000 to $50,000 to do an audit every year to make sure that we good, that we're in good standing, that now the county can increase their credit rating and get back a good credit rating. Like I just want people to understand that. And these same folks keep lying to you. They keep lying to the community over and over again. And people getting upset because people are holding them accountable. I just want you guys to sit down and think about it, right? You have to ask yourself, do you really want better? Because some of us are showing that we don't want better. We want things to be the same as it is, but then we want to complain about how that is. That's a mental issue. Because when you want better, you do better. Because you know that saying that said when you get tired of being sick and tired, you actually do something about it. And I'm doing something about it. I'm coming home and I ain't going to be silent about it. I ain't going to be silent about it. Right? I'm not going to be silent about it. And I will continue to stand 10 toes down about advocating for what's best for the community. And these elected officials, you will be held accountable. You getting compensated. You volunteered to run. You raised your hand. And for those that that like to fabricate, I do not want Albert to turn a job. I'm curious to understand this. And I want you guys to really help me understand it, because it's hard for me to comprehend this from a logical perspective. How is holding an elected official accountable to what they said that they were going to do as an elected official or something as part of their job correlates to me wanting their jobs or coveting their position? Huh? How is accountability correlates or equate to coveting? So that means that if I hold my kids, my daughter, accountable to a standard because I know she knows better, does that mean that because I'm holding her accountable now, that means that I want to be my daughter? I just want y'all to understand that, right? Me holding her accountable is to a standard that would benefit her. The same thing, like, but like, and you're right. Like at the end of the day, I'm advocating for change, right? And please believe that the Alabama got some very crazy rules, right? Let me pull this up before I get off here. Let me see, can I pull it up? See. So what I'm looking for right now is Alabama resident rules for elected official position in the state, right? I want y'all to look at this. County and local offices. County Commissioner or Board of Education must have lived in the county at least 1 year before office, and if district based in that district, right? A mayor or